the world is in disarray. We're asking questions like, oh, when did the situation in Yemen get so bad? It's been bad since 2015. The same reason how we didn't realize racism was a problem. It's been a problem since. Hi, my name's Corey and welcome to Vimoye, a people-led movement to build Africa. And this is Triggered, where we react to information coming from the continent together. Okay, let's go.
The world's largest humanitarian crisis isn't in Syria. It's in Yemen. Thousands have been killed and millions have been displaced so far. The conflict has been going on for years, but it became especially violent in March 2015. That's when the Saudi-led coalition got involved. Now, the poorest country in the Arab region has become the violent playground for regional and international powers. The destruction of infrastructure and restrictions on food and fuel imports means 17 million Yemenis will face famine unless they receive humanitarian help soon. But that's not all. One fear is that international aid isn't getting to those who need it the most, making a cholera outbreak all the more difficult to control. And to make matters worse, 2/3 of Yemenis don't have access to clean water. So, where does that leave us?
Right, so Yemen. If you haven't heard about Yemen yet, then where have you been? Probably the same place the rest of us have been, because we're literally just hearing about something that has been happening since 2015. The situation in Yemen has been labelled the biggest humanitarian crisis to date, and nobody knew about it. And it makes us ask, so why didn't anyone tell us? Well, the UN have been trying to tell us for a while now. With all the research I've done, they've been writing papers, they've been putting out information, and nobody was listening. And the video we just watched was put out by Al Jazeera in 2017. So the situation has been left unchecked, and now 80% of Yemenis people need assistance of some sort, and 14 million of them are at risk of starvation. The reality is that we have all been so busy doing life pre-COVID, and it's COVID that has made us all stop and realize that the world is in disarray. We're asking questions like, oh, when did the situation in Yemen get so bad? It's been bad since 2015. The same reason how we didn't realize racism was a problem. It's been a problem since. So the situation with Yemen made me go and check on the African countries that we know are also in need of aid and would be classed as a humanitarian crisis. So my assumption was, if Yemen is now number one in terms of humanitarian issues, does that mean that DR Congo, Mozambique, and the Central African Republic are doing better? The short answer is no, unfortunately. And this isn't an all lives matter type rhetoric, absolutely not. The whole situation in Yemen is shocking, and we should all get behind trying to help resolve that situation. And at the end of this episode, I will put links to how we can do that. But the situation in Yemen made me realize how awful the entire world is, how bad and how dire the situation is. Before Yemen decided to join the party, the 10 poorest countries were all in Africa, with 40 to 80% of the inhabitants of these countries living in extreme poverty, which is defined as living under $1.90 a day. And to make things worse, up to 70% of the world live on less than $10 a day. And I'm saying this not to make you feel bad, because that does nothing for the situation, but for us to realize that we can't go back to how things were. We can't pretend that we don't know what we know today. We can't say that Yemen is no longer struggling. We can't say that the rest of the world isn't living in pain and poverty. We can't pretend that systematic racism isn't a thing. We know better now, so we have to do better. But how? So, according to Jeffrey Sachs, a leader in economic development, it will cost $175 billion every year for the next 20 years to eradicate poverty. And that isn't actually a lot of money when you consider that in 2017, $400 billion was given to humanitarian and charitable causes, and 300 million of that was from individuals like you and me. I say that to say that we have the power to be able to make change in this world. We're not as powerless as we have been made to believe or we'd like to believe. And because we now know that, we have to do something to improve the lives of those who are suffering. I do believe, though, that we can do that when we work together. So this year on World Refugee Day, the theme or the tagline was "Every action counts." And I completely agree with that. Every single action makes a difference. But at Vimoye, we don't want it just to count. We want every single action to reach maximum effectiveness. So you guys know that Vimoye is a people-led movement to build Africa, starting with education. But we don't want to do it alone. We want to work alongside organizations that are focused on building Africa, because that's how we can reach maximum effectiveness. Let's take an organization that provides books for kids. That is amazing. Providing books gives children access to knowledge, and that is a game changer. But imagine if those books were in a school with great teachers who could use those books effectively. That action would then reach maximum effectiveness. Let's take an organization that provides glasses for children. That action is amazing. That means you give a child an opportunity to see the world clearly, and that changes their quality of life. But imagine if we gave those glasses to children who are going to a school with books that have amazing teachers. Those kids could then use those glasses to see the board or to read those books, and that action would reach maximum effectiveness. I could go on and give examples with regards to clothing and food and so many other important things that organizations and charities provide. Each of those things separately change lives. They make people's lives better. But together, the effect is exponential. If you're an organization or a charity that would like to collaborate with us and make this vision happen, then please do get in touch. We want to put together a network of organizations and charities that are working on the continent to help us all reach maximum effectiveness. And if you're an individual that's interested in being a part of the change, then get in touch. We can definitely link you with an organization that fits your passion, or you could definitely work directly with us because there is a lot to do. So we welcome all the help we can get. All our contact details are in the description box below. That's it from me today. That's actually it from me for a while. As you can tell, I have a lot of work to do with all the things I've just outlined. And I really want to be able to focus on those things, but I will definitely be back. In the meantime, though, I won't leave you guys hanging. Don't worry, content is coming. From next week, we'll be uploading season 1 of Africa's Victors, where we are telling stories of the protagonists in Africa's history that have been overlooked, well, at least by me. I don't know about you guys, maybe you guys know about them already. And we're telling their stories to get the word out there and change the narrative about Africa and Africans. Also, we are working on season 2 of Africa's Victors, and it's going to be amazing. I can't tell you too much about it right now, but just honestly, it's going to be worth the wait. Make sure you follow us on Instagram so you know when that drops. We're also launching a blog that will discuss policy on the continent. So if you're interested in policy at all, then you definitely want to get in touch with us, because there'll be opportunities to write and be a part of all the elements that go into evaluating policy. We are super excited for all the things that are coming, and if you want to be a part of it in any way, we definitely want to hear from you. And if you would like to donate to the cause, then please do check out www.thevimoyefoundation.co.uk/pledge, where we are asking people to just commit to donating £1 a month. Because, as I said earlier, we believe in the power of the collective. So although £1 may not seem like a lot, we think that when we put all of the pounds together, we can do some amazing things. But if you would like to give more, you are also welcome to do so. Until next time, remember, every action counts. But together, we can reach maximum effectiveness. Bye. Vimoye is a people-led movement to build Africa, and we're starting with education. We want to improve the access to education for those on the continent, and we are taking a holistic approach to doing that. So we're not just looking for teachers, we're looking for people with so many different skills that can be a part of the building process. If that resonates with you in any way and you really want to be a part of actually changing the narrative of the continent, then please do get in touch with us. You can find us on Instagram using the @the Foundation. Together, I really do believe that we can build the Africa we've always known was possible.